Hey there guys, welcome back to another episode of Spartan Crew Gaming, and today we're talking about Bethesda, a studio I love, but it seems they have been just making so many mistakes lately. So let's talk about how they can fix those and not turn into a company like EA that, everyone hates. So let's go. So in life, I always try to have a very positive outlook on things, but Bethesda has really screwed over the consumer with Fallout 76. They released a $60 game that was unfinished, and when you do that in any business world, if you released a car from your factory and it didn't make it to the lot, or if you bought a car from a lot and it didn't get out of the driveway, I mean, that's not good, and that is basically what Fallout 76 was. It's one of the worst reviewed games in a long time, and that's saying something. Bethesda was known for creating an open world where your choices affected things and where you could do things and have fun and create a story of your own and roleplay and have a really great time. And even though Skyrim maybe was more mainstream than Oblivion, granted I never played Oblivion, but that's what I've heard from people, still, the games would give you choice and change things, and just they were industry defining. People love Skyrim, and they still do. I still do. I think it's an amazing game. And even Fallout 4, despite some of its issues, I still thought was a good game. Is it as good as Skyrim? By no means, but still, I enjoyed it. Nonetheless, Fallout 76 was a game that was unfinished, and from all points of view, looks like it was made as a cash grab. Now, I don't know if that was Bethesda Game Studios' decision or ZeniMax, their publisher, but still, the game just wasn't good. It is not great. They've discounted it already because it's so bad and not selling well, and they're considering putting loot boxes in it, and they had a debacle with leaking people's information. Everything has gone wrong that could go wrong with the release of a game for Fallout 76, and it has wasted Bethesda's reputation, a reputation that was already on the edge a little bit with the release of Creation Club. Plus, people, even though they love Bethesda's kind of quirky engine, knew that for a while it needed to be upgraded, and the fact that they haven't done that yet has really put them behind in terms. Other games and other game studios are now releasing open world games that look better and are more diverse. I mean, especially CD Projekt Red when you look at games like Witcher and the soon-to-be Cyberpunk 2077. Also, The Outer Worlds from Obsidian, while it doesn't look like super graphically ahead, it still looks like a deep RPG, and Bethesda has just squandered the reputation, and the competition will be able to jump in and take them out. So how can Bethesda get back on the high ground and move back into the hearts of their fans? So first off, Bethesda should just be as transparent as they can with the consumer. A lot of companies and businesses, from what I've been reading, a lot of companies aren't transparent. One time, I think Bank of America or another bank, they did this transaction fee on debit cards, and it was going to be a pretty expensive transaction fee, and everyone was so outraged about it that they had to turn everything around, and they didn't really apologize to the consumer. They just said, oh, well, we thought it would go better, dun 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 dun, and they really half-heartedly apologized. Bethesda just needs to come out and be like, hey, we released a product that was not finished, that was not good, and we are sorry. But instead, they have said, here and there, like, oh, yes, thank you for all your feedback, this latest patch will be fixing things. But, if they just came out and were honest that this game wasn't great, but instead a lot of companies just go radio silent. They are afraid of the backlash. I mean, this game's backlash is kind of similar to that of No Man's Skies, to be honest. Now, No Man's Sky fixed its stuff, and hopefully Bethesda can do that, because I could see Fallout 76 be a long-term game that works out well. But what else can they do? Well, let's go into that. So the biggest one is they could just upgrade their engine. Their engine is almost the basis of their problems. They are stuck to it because they love to work with it. Now, granted, there's a lot of rumors going around and deep digging done by some other channels, basically talking about how they are changing things, they are upgrading things, and they might even be working on a new engine. Who knows? But I swear, if Elder Scrolls 6 comes out and it does not look 10 times better than Skyrim, people are going to flip. And if Elder Scrolls 6, if Starfield fails, it's definitely going to be a nail in the coffin for them. But if Elder Scrolls 6 fails, I think Bethesda's done as a studio, or at least with those franchises. Now, Rage 2 looks good, and other things that Bethesda is publishing looks good, but Bethesda Game Studios, the people that make Elder Scrolls and Skyrim, if they don't get their games in order, if they don't actually kind of work to make the engine better, or upgrade it substantially where people are like, whoa, this looks new, these are new things, then they're going to be in big trouble. And again, I've said this before, I'd rather have less modding if it meant a more stable engine and a more graphical upgrades so that later on we can build from that. I understand that the creation engine has allowed them to do so much good stuff with modding and other things, but it also has held them back and has detrimentally failed them with Fallout 76. So if we don't see changes with Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6, they're going to be in huge trouble. Now, I believe they will. They almost have to get the reputation back. So have I lost all hope in Bethesda? No, I haven't. I think they can turn things around, and I think they will. But it's sad to see a company that I really love do a lot of corporate things like other companies do. There's a few good companies out there that are actually honest with their fans about things and more transparent, and that is what companies need to do. Talk about the issues of their game if there's issues in the game and make fun of it. It's fine, and say, hey, we've made mistakes here and there. But a lot of times companies ignore it and go into silent mode, and sometimes they do that with good reason because they are trying to figure out how to fix their game. But Bethesda just needs to say something and just fix things and be like, hey, we are working on something, we are going to change things. Because right now, Bethesda used to be the studio that everyone would look forward to their games. But Outer Worlds and these other games that are coming out, I am looking forward to more of those than I am to Starfield, because I know Starfield might release in 2019 or 2020, and quite frankly, I'm not as excited for it, because if the game is going to be on the same engine as Fallout 76, then what's going to happen? I mean, you can't keep something on an antiquated engine so long because everything else is moving ahead. You have to get with the game, Bethesda, and they are behind right now, and they're paying dearly for it. Their reputation has been squandered on Fallout 76, which is sad, but I hope they can get it back. Nonetheless, guys, tell me your thoughts below. What do you think about Bethesda? Do you think they can change their ways? Do you think they have completely fallen to the dark side and are becoming like EA? Do you think they can change who they are? And I think they can. I think everyone is subject to change if they try hard enough. Nonetheless, guys, thank you so much for watching. I could not do this without you, and I could not do it without God. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you would like. This is your host, your commentator, and your friend, Spartan Crew Gaming, signing off. I will see you next time.